This snake has eaten something dangerous. Welcome back, Charlie here. When it comes to snakes, there's almost nothing they won't eat. They've even been known to swallow human beings whole. Prepare yourself, because today we're going to look at the most bizarre things found inside snakes. First, we have to look at a water bottle. Everyone knows plastic pollution is a big issue. It's especially bad for animals. This video shows a cobra who's ingested an entire water bottle. When this cobra saw an empty plastic water bottle, it swallowed it whole. This took place in India. It's believed the cobra thought this was some kind of animal. It didn't take long for the cobra to regret his bad choice, and then began pushing the water bottle out of its stomach and mouth. Eventually, the snake was able to remove the water bottle from itself. It's a good thing snakes have the ability to do this, otherwise it could have died. Next, we have to look at an AK-47. What's more dangerous than a snake? A snake with a Kalashnikov 47 rifle in its belly. In 2021, photos went viral showing a snake with an AK-47 in its stomach. This snake was seen in India. Some called this a Sna AK-47. The snake species is said to be an Indian rock python, but how it managed to swallow this rifle whole is unknown. Some speculated this happened near the India-Pakistan border. A soldier may have left their rifle laying around and a snake came and ate it. I guess some snakes can have arms after all. Moving on, we have to look at a lion. You may wonder, how could a lion be found inside a snake's body? After all, there's no snake which is bigger than a lion. Well, it turns out even the king of the jungle isn't safe when it comes to snakes. Snakes can actually take a lion's life. They do this by first constricting the lion. That is where the snake wraps itself around the lion, causing the lion to suffocate. After the lion's dead, the snake opens its mouth as wide as possible and swallows it whole. Of course, this is massively heavy for the snake, and it means they sometimes can't move for weeks. But seeing as a lion can sustain a snake for many weeks, that's not a problem. Normally, lion packs can overpower snakes and beat them in any fight. But sometimes, if a python encounters a lone lion, the lion will lose the fight. Moving on, we have to look at an electric blanket. You may wonder how an electric blanket would end up inside a snake. But in 2006, a Burmese python named Houdini made a meal out of an electrical blanket. It swallowed the entire electric blanket and the power cord. Houdini's owner, Carl Besnoska from Idaho, said he didn't see any of it happening, even though it took Houdini around 6 hours to eat this blanket. It's believed this electric blanket was tangled in the snake's food. That was a live rabbit which was fed to it earlier that day. Houdini had to undergo an emergency 2-hour surgery. After those 2 hours and more than 100 stitches, the electric blanket was removed. And thankfully, this amazing python survived. Houdini has since made a full recovery. But unfortunately, the electric blanket was no longer working. Next, we have to look at a porcupine. Porcupines are actually snakes' worst nightmare. They seem like easy prey, but that's before snakes realized just how spiky these creatures are. This African rock python was found dead in South Africa. That was after it swallowed a porcupine. The spiky porcupine had ended the snake's life. Pythons can sometimes successfully eat porcupines, but in this case the porcupine pierced the python's digestive tract, causing the python to pass away. Moving on, we have to look at a teddy bear. Unsurprisingly, there have been a few cases of snakes eating entire bears, but in 2016 a python in Australia ate a whole teddy bear. The teddy bear belonged to a family's dog, but was somehow consumed by a python. After an x-ray, they found the teddy bear was inside the python, and was totally intact. After a long surgery and 15 stitches, the teddy bear was removed. The python and the teddy bear made a full recovery. But if this wouldn't have been noticed, the python could have died. There's no way this teddy bear would have ever been digested, meaning it would have compacted inside the snake's intestines, eventually causing this python to pass away. I bet you'd never imagine a cute teddy bear could end a scary python's life. I guess teddy bears aren't as innocent as they seem. Moving on, we have to look at a kangaroo. In Australia, an entire kangaroo was found inside a snake. This 17-foot amethystine python in Australia swallowed a whole kangaroo. A snake eating a kangaroo might be the most Australian thing I've ever heard of. The funny part is the people who saw this in Queensland weren't even scared. They simply began filming it with their phones. I guess this is just a normal day in Australia. Moving on, we have to look at a goat. I bet you've never seen a snake consume a whole goat. Well, that's exactly what happened in 2015 in West Bengal, India. Crowds were stunned when a live goat was swallowed by a massive 10-foot python. The snake first constricted the live goat and then began slowly consuming it, eventually swallowing it whole. Nature sure is scary. It's amazing just how wide snakes can open their mouths. I guess this is proof that literally no animal is safe from snakes. Next, let's look at a beach towel. I'm not sure why you'd want to eat a beach towel, but that's what one snake did. In 2020 in Sydney, Australia, a jungle carpet python swallowed an entire beach towel. The snake had eaten this by accident after looking for food. The beach towel was totally indigestible, which is why vets had to hurry to remove this from the python's stomach. The towel was grabbed and eventually removed from the snake. It's surprising just how long this beach towel was, and must have been seriously uncomfortable for the snake. Next, we have to look at golf balls. It may come as a surprise, but snakes often eat golf balls. For one, golf courses are normally in nature where snakes may live, and snakes often mistake golf balls for animal eggs. That's right, snakes love eating animal eggs. One day, a black rat snake encountered a golf ball, and then proceeded to swallow it whole. Thankfully, someone noticed a spherical mass inside this snake. It was taken to the Ohio Wildlife Center where the golf ball was removed. After the ball was removed, the snake made a full recovery. Talk about a hole-in-one. Finally, we have to look at an antelope. Based on what we've already seen, it's probably not so surprising that a snake can swallow an antelope whole. But that doesn't make this video any less amazing. A man was hiking in Botswana when he stumbled across a massive python. The python was beginning to constrict an antelope, and pretty soon after swallowed this whole. I'm just glad I'm not an animal. I think I would live in constant fear of running into one of these gigantic pythons. It's pretty scary seeing all of the crazy things these snakes are willing to eat. Snakes like pythons do have very powerful stomach acids, meaning they can digest some strange things. But it's safe to say snakes don't really have standards when it comes to food. This may be why in some rare cases snakes have even eaten human beings, and even other snakes. That's right, some snakes are literally cannibals. Just when you thought these serpent creatures couldn't get any scarier. Snakes swallowing weird things is becoming more and more common in the USA. That's because, surprisingly, in recent years, snakes are becoming very popular pets. Personally, I think snakes belong in the wild, but if you do get a pet snake, make sure it stays firmly behind its cage. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment below which was the most bizarre thing found inside a snake. If you want to see my short videos, then check out my shorts channel. I've been Charlie, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.